Hello, hello, everybody. Come on in, take a seat, grab a beverage. Let's get started tonight. Couple of things I wanted to go over. There is going to be um Seth is going to be on his channel tonight. Hi, Canine. Um, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time. I know, like for some of you, like Mike, that might be really, really early morning for you, right? Um, and I can give you that link. I'll put it in the chat. So that's where he'll be at 8 o'clock tonight. Um, he according to At Night, who is sponsoring this presentation for Seth or whatever. No one can stream it. Okay, so but we're going to be there to support him. So anyone that wants to come to support Seth, please do so. 8 o'clock Central. Hopefully, we'll be done with our live by then. If we're not, I'm gonna cut us off. just a little hint there that I will cut us off because I want us to be able to support Seth. So every other creator that I've seen today, um, most of the creators that I've seen today are doing the same thing. They're telling their people, come on and join us over there. So, all right. Today we are looking at a video of Court TV, Vinnie Politan with Seth. Gotta love Vinnie. I like Vinnie. I don't know why. I just like Vinnie. um, but yeah. So we're gonna get started on that one. I'm trying to think how long that's gonna be. It says about 40 minutes, guys, something like that. So let's get started on that one. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Need to start over.
Tennessee. It was a Monday morning. Katie Proudfoot says she woke up about 6 in the morning to get her son Sebastian ready for school. But when she went to his room, he wasn't there. Katie quickly went around the house and could not find him. Where was Sebastian? Panic quickly set in. Katie says she called police and searched around the neighborhood and at school and could not find him. She says his shoes were still in. His phone was still there too, but a flashlight was missing. Where did Sebastian go? Did he leave in the middle of the night? Why would he leave? These are all questions that have no answers. Police say they don't know where he is. They don't know what happened. All of Sebastian's parents have cooperated, his mother, Katie Proudfoot, his stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, and his dad, Seth Rogers. They also say there's no sign of foul play. But people don't just vanish. Tonight, we speak live with Sebastian's dad. What does he know? What does he suspect? Then we'll also listen to what Sebastian's mom and stepdad have said. Does it all make sense? Tonight, as investigators continue their search, we continue our investigation into the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I want to start here because this is the most important part. If you take nothing else away from the next hour of this program, please just remember this face. Okay? If you don't remember anything else, even if you change the channel at some point, please remember this face.
And Lacey just looked
this
up
child
when I said
is missing. You may know something. You may have seen something. Investigators need help. His family needs help. Sebastian needs your help. A new search was announced today. A search that seems to be relatively close to the home, but
good news, right? Yesterday, we heard from investigators from the sheriff, FBI, and one day after they addressed the public to kind of give an update on what's going on, now a renewed search that could take a couple of days.
I forced myself
That's good
to take
news,
a
not
break,
great news.
Robin.
It's good news. You've got to keep the search going. You've got to keep his face out there. You've got to keep a spotlight on what is happening here. Because we don't know what happened. Nobody knows. Well, somebody might know, but investigators don't know. We don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Which leaves open like any possibility here. So it's good that the search is continuing. More importantly, remember his face. Another question people are asking tonight is like, where's mom? Where's mom? And we're going to talk about that tonight. And a lot of people have been talking about that, but it's a difficult position for any parent to be in what has happened here. Now, I can tell you where Dad is. Dad's going to be here. He's going to be here live on this program. And we'll get a lot of information from Seth Rogers when he joins us in just a moment. But I want you to listen one more time to the chief deputy from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, again, describing the status of this investigation, this search for a missing child.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out?
We're not ruling anything out.
Not ruling anything out. Why? Because they don't know what happened here. They don't know. I want to bring in our special guest right off the top, Sebastian's dad, Seth Rogers, joining us tonight from Clarksville, Tennessee. Seth, thank you so much for joining us. I know this isn't easy. A lot of people are asking you for your time, so we do appreciate it.
Every time I see Craddock on a video, I just want to scream. Oh, that's horrible. And Robin, it's true. We don't know what we don't know.
Appreciate it. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
Oops, he froze.
Your
Just
feed,
looking for my son.
your feed just froze up for a second. I'm so sorry, Seth. So we didn't hear. How are you holding up tonight?
I'm just looking for my son. There is no holding up. It's just moving forward. Move forward to the next location. Move forward to the next. Anything that I get, any type of lead, any type of
I hear
anything.
ya.
I mean, it's just every day holding on to hope.
What are your
It's gonna
thoughts
be
about
horrible at 8
the
o'clock when he's
investigation
on.
and the status of the law enforcement investigation into the search for your son, where they're not ruling anything out, no evidence of foul play? Do you think that they have found anything so far in more than a month?
I'm not part of the investigation, and they don't have to let me know anything, which they don't let me know anything.
Fair enough. Not letting you know anything is one part. The other part is you're his dad, right? So has that communication been enough to have you feel like, okay, I know and I trust that they're working this thing?
I'm in law enforcement myself, so I've got to trust the procedure. I got to trust that if everything is followed by the procedure and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, that there will be a positive outcome and my son will be found. I don't understand. They haven't came up with anything. Why they're not asking for higher powers to help.
From where, I want to go back to when you first found out and then this part isn't clear in my head. Where were you when you found out that Sebastian was missing? And who called you? What was that conversation like? And then sort of what happened next there?
Made it out to the parking garage. When I got in my vehicle, I saw I had a missed call and a text message. Christopher Proudfoot. Text message was a 911, so I called immediately, and he's the one that told me that Sebastian was missing.
And how much detail did he give you about what happened, and how would you describe that moment, that call?
Wasn't much detail except for he said Katie woke up, Sebastian's missing. So I left the parking garage and headed straight to her house.
And how far are you from the house?
About 45 minutes from downtown correction center to their house in Henderson, Sumner County.
Okay, so now you respond. You're on that 45-minute ride there. Are you talking to anyone, or are you just pedal to the metal trying to get there?
Nah, I'm trying not to get a speeding ticket.
I get that, but I mean, are you just focused on getting there, or are you calling his mom to get more details?
No, I'm just focusing on traffic to get there as fast as possible.
So now when you got there, what happened at that moment? Like, did you have a conversation with his mom, and did you try to find out, like, well, what the situation was here?
When I got there, there was already law enforcement presence there. So I walked in and just started listening to what was going on.
And
I wanted to hear what was going on. So I got to hear her telling law enforcement asking questions, me listening to the questions and listening to the responses from his mother.
And what did you form any opinion based upon what you were hearing?
Knew my son was missing, and I just started watching body language, listening to words coming out. Did I form an opinion? Yeah, I formed an opinion. I am only human.
And what was that opinion?
Don't say it, Seth.
That again, once again, my son, something has happened to my son under her watch. And once again, she wasn't being an adult. She wasn't being a parent taking care of an autistic child.
So as you're listening and watching her, now she was home, it was just Sebastian and his mom that were home at that time?
When I got, yes, because when I got there, it was just Katie, and I think Chris's mom was there, but it was just, when the incident happened, it was just Katie and Sebastian at the house, from my understanding.
Now, I've got to imagine your mind is racing at the time you're hearing all this information. So as you're hearing the information from Katie, and from what you're telling me, it seems like you're a little upset in how things were handled. So what happened next? Where did you go? Where did she go? What did police do at that time? Because this is very early on, right? This is the morning of.
They started asking me questions on where I'd been. I told them I'd been at work since, I've been clocked in since before 7, but I'd been at work in the parking garage since about 6 o'clock the night before. And I told them they can call and verify where I've been at. And I just sat there and started listening, just listening to everything that was being said.
Now, did you have any reason to believe that there were any problems in that home?
Katie was pretty adamant about having a good weekend, which meant my son wasn't misbehaving in her point of view.
So I'm trying to read between the lines here. Do you believe that she doesn't exercise enough patience with Sebastian, and that causes some problems in the home, or she doesn't approach her responsibilities as a parent appropriately? Like there's something off there?
Autistic children take a different. Well, autistic children take. It's a different aspect when you're a parent of an autistic child. You don't really get much freedom because you have to set a routine and you have to go abide by it. And when she's sitting there telling me she put him to bed at 9 o'clock the night before or 9:30 the night before, and that, she heard him in there and told him to go to bed and things like that, it's like there's not much of a routine. And with there's no routine, then autistic children don't act the same way they're supposed to. When I've had him, there's a routine in my house when I have him. And he's a teenager. You're going to listen. You're going to hear some back talk probably. I mean, they're growing. They're going to rebel some way. They're teenagers, so you're going to listen to it. You're going to have to deal with it. But you still got to remember that you're a parent. And you have to adjust your lifestyle to be able to make sure that they can adjust and learn and still grow.
Enid, we don't show hate on this channel.
You can't do some of the things that I've.
We do not show hate. His name is Seth. And if you can't abide by channel rules, just go elsewhere. Thank you.
I've seen her do in the past. So
the custody arrangement, it seems you both have custody, and he'll spend time with you as well as with his mom. Were there any indication in your communications with Katie that like she didn't want custody, that she didn't want that responsibility, and there were problems, and she was running into some rough waters? Anything like that?
Most of my discussions were actually taken care with Chris. And Sebastian was supposed to come live with me. Chris was working on Katie, on getting her to agree to it. And all I wanted was my son to come live with me. I've already got him enrolled in school. I've had him enrolled in school. I gotta find him.
I want to put something up on the screen here. This is from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. They made a Facebook post. Important announcement, attention everyone. We want to clarify that the eyeglasses recently found are not related to Sebastian Rogers. The search operation planned for today, which is like today, has been in the works for several days. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding. My understanding is that you and your team are the ones that found these glasses?
One of my teams. I have a group of volunteers that changes pretty much throughout the day, throughout the week. So whoever's off work that wants to come to help, they come to help. And then I separate everybody in teams and I ask them to go flyer this area or flyer that area. And one of my volunteer groups found glasses. They contacted me because they couldn't get a hold of anybody at the. They told me they couldn't get a hold of anybody at the sheriff's office. I turned around. I called my contact. They were busy. I flagged down a deputy sheriff that I saw by our volunteer area and turned around and had him wait. And I told them to put on gloves, bag them, tag them, bring them back so I could give them to the deputy sheriff that was there so that we could fill out the evidence and have a chain of evidence.
And when you saw the glasses, do you agree with this, that they couldn't be Sebastian's?
They were very similar to Sebastian's. It's been a month and a half since I've seen my son. So, it's a month and a half since I've seen his glasses. They looked really, really similar to the point that I didn't want to lose a chance that these might be evidence. So I gave them to the sheriff's department to log as evidence.
I want to play for you Katie, who spoke on YouTube to the Chronicles of Olivia, describing that morning and the night before. And I want to get your reaction to what she says happened in the house and where they were. Let's watch.
We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley. And then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. He just didn't come out of his room where he was playing. He said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went here.
Seth, you know Katie better than all of us, obviously. You know your son so well. Is there anything in that story that doesn't make sense to you?
The inconsistencies, from what I've heard before, none of it makes sense. Things aren't, I'm not here to sling mud, but why is she asking Chris to verify what she did on Sunday when Chris wasn't here on Sunday?
That is such...
Or the fact...
When we watched that interview, we asked the same question, didn't we, chat? It was kind of weird how Seth brings that up now, and we've all asked the same question. Why did she look to Chris if Chris wasn't there? About the niece. And Enid, you said Dog the Bounty Hunter calls him Sean. He called him Sean once. He got mistaken. That can happen. Especially with Dog, who works a lot of cases. That could happen. But then what ended up happening is a lot of drama channels decided to call Seth Sean sarcastically. And I don't allow that on my channel. We don't call anyone sarcastic names. We just don't do it. We do question things. We question because if it relates to the Sebastian Rogers case, we will question things that don't seem right to us. But we do not ever show hate. Okay, let's continue.
The fact that she said that she heard a thump on another interview and didn't bother to check on our son. You know, there's a difference between some noise or a thump. I mean, just the information that I receive from watching any of their podcasts don't make sense.
Seth, please stay with us. I have a few more questions, and I want to make sure everyone, why we're doing this is because there is a boy who is missing. Here's a dad who needs your help, and Sebastian needs your help. So Seth is going to stay with us. We've got more with him, plus coming up in the next hour.
In Bolingbrook, Illinois, a potentially huge break in a huge true crime mystery. In 2007, 23-year-old Stacy Peterson disappeared. Her husband, Bolingbrook police officer Drew Peterson, was a person of interest in the case. He was later convicted of murdering his prior wife, Kathleen Savio. Stacy's sister says she has found Stacy's remains, and she joins us live tonight.
So you don't have a temper?
No, it's...
Are you in love with Stacy?
Very much so.
Think she might be alive?
I do.
We are underway in the trial of doomsday prophet Chad Daybell.
Prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty against him.
Investigators have recovered human remains at Chad Daybell's residence.
There's no way, Morgan. I should never come up with this.
His wife, Lori Vallow Daybell, has already been convicted.
Now, will her husband end up with the same fate?
It's just so hard to know where the truth ends.
It's the doomsday prophet, Chad Daybell, on trial.
I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son.
That's Katie Proudfoot describing what she says is the moment that she realized that her son, Sebastian Rogers, was missing. Sebastian's dad, Seth Rogers, is still with us tonight. Seth, again, thank you. What is the last verifiable proof of, I guess, proof of life is one way to put it. I hate to say it like that, but the last time that you can verify that someone outside of that home saw him or he was on video?
It would have been Sunday, leaving Texas Roadhouse.
And what time was that about?
About 6:30.
And do you know everyone who was there at Roadhouse with Sebastian?
All I saw was as they left the building and got into Katie's car, it was just her and Sebastian.
And anything unusual about the video?
Not that I could observe from what little I saw.
And when they went to dinner and out that day, I think Katie's described being with other family members. Have any of them spoken to you? Have any of them joined in the searches?
No.
No?
No.
Look at the shock on Vinny's face.
How about the immediate neighborhood? Have all the homes been searched? Have the people in that immediate neighborhood all been cooperative?
From my understanding, a lot of them have cooperated with law enforcement, and that they've given up their video cameras footage to Sumner County sheriffs, and they've been pretty much cooperative with law enforcement.
How about
me personally? I haven't been in that neighborhood since the Wednesday afterwards. I've been around there. I've been to the beach high school, but as for going into that neighborhood, no. I've been next door to the construction area. I researched that. I searched it on the Tuesday after he left, and then I've been there a couple times to research it. I've been to Beach High School, been over to the fire station when they had the EMA Mobile Command Center there.
Do you think it's possible that he would, because you know your son, that he would leave in the middle of the night, potentially barefoot, maybe with a flashlight?
It doesn't seem like my son at all. He would never leave my house in the middle of the night barefoot. And if he did, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. You know, we've left in the middle of the night. There's been times that we've gone fishing in the middle of the night. You know, we plan that sort of stuff. But him walking out the door in the middle of the night, no. It's not something he would do. It's something he's never done on me.
Is there any chance, and I know there were rules in place, but is there any chance that he could have been lured by someone either from school or somewhere else to, like, hey, you know, we're doing something at night, or we're going somewhere, or we're going to meet up? Is that, do you think that's in the realm of possibilities?
I find that highly unlikely, because my son doesn't really have a concept of days or how to, or time in order to plan something like that.
What do you mean? Could you explain that?
Well, trying to get him to wear a watch is already hard enough. You know, I've had him set timers on his phone so that he remembers that, hey, it's 7 o'clock at night, I need to take my medicine. I mean, he doesn't really have a concept of time, except for, you know, he's got to, when he gets woken up in the morning at his mom's, normally around 6 o'clock, he's got an hour to get up, get ready, eat his food, and be out there to catch the bus between 7:10 and 7:20. Then he goes to school. He gets out of school at 3 o'clock, and I normally call him about 3:30. But when he's here and it's a weekend or something, you know, there's no time. You know, telling him at noon we're going to head out and go fishing, and I'll sit there and watch. And he's all interested in going fishing. I'll sit there, and then he'll walk up to me. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He's like, I thought we were going fishing this morning. I was like, well, what time is it? And he'll run into the kitchen and look and be like, it's 2 o'clock. And it's like, oh, well, I thought we were going to do that this morning, and you needed to let me know when that was your thing. That's what I talked to you about. You know, let's get everything ready at 11 o'clock so we can go fishing. And you've been playing with your toys.
I like how Seth is trying to train Sebastian into thinking about the concept of time. And if he wants to do something, then he needs to look at the time, right? I just like his way of doing it. I would have never thought of that myself, I guess.
You know, playing on your video game, watching TV with me, And he was like, well, I didn't realize what time it was. And it's like, okay, well, we were supposed to do that this morning. Let's go ahead and get it done now. He didn't really have a concept at the time.
I want to take...
It's one of the reasons I wear a watch.
I want to take another listen to Katie and Chris from the Chronicles of Olivia here talking more about Sebastian and get your reaction.
Sebastian hasn't been on his medication in 20 days. So he is rambunctious. He's got to be hungry. He turns into a bottomless pit. I mean, he's your teenage boy, always hungry. On the spectrum, yes. But not one autistic child in this world is like another one. What we can tell you is he's smart. He can be goofy. He kind of has issues with personal space. He hasn't mastered.
He can be
up in your face kind of kid.
He can be aggressive if he's upset.
Yeah. He's emotional. He's a teenager. He
doesn't like punch and hit and throw, but he gets really like aggressive stanced or like clipped where he just won't talk to you, or if he's really upset, he like growls.
Seth, what are your thoughts about what we just saw?
They're describing my son when he was like 4 or 5.
He's different now.
Yeah.
Can you give us your routine now? I mean, I just get a sense that you're not sleeping much, that you are out searching, you're organizing, you're getting the word out. What is each day like for you, and what are your thoughts about where his mom is, Katie, which is not in town anymore?
Chris and Katie Proudfoot are they're adults. They're responsible for themselves. I'm Seth Rogers. I'm looking for my son, Sebastian. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm his dad. He's missing. I have to find him. It doesn't look like they're doing it, so, I'll do it on my own if I have to. I'll ask for people to come help. If they don't, then I'll do it myself. I've always been like that, You can't rely on people. Luckily enough, I'm finding people that I can rely on currently to help me find my son, and I appreciate everybody that is showing up. We've gotten people that have showed up from Ohio. We've gotten people that showed up from Missouri. We've got people that have come in from Florida. We got people in the community that are showing up. They're upset and they're mad at how Chris and Katie are behaving in this. But they're human. I mean, none of us are without fault. Just, I would think that parents would and should act different.
Seth, thank you.
I'm going to find him.
I hear it in your voice. I see it in your eyes. Our thoughts, our prayers are with you and Sebastian. Obviously, we're going to keep his picture on the screen as much as we can, night after night. Thank you so much, Seth. Good luck in the search, and please try to make sure you're taking. I know you don't worry about yourself, but please take care of yourself too, as well, Seth.
I will. I'll be around here long after I find Sebastian.
All right. Thank you, Seth. All right. When we come back, folks, we're going to continue looking at this story. We're going to speak with Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia. I know you've seen it on TikTok. You've seen it on YouTube. She spoke with Katie and Chris Proudfoot. She's going to join us next.
Hey guys, I'm out here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I just posted a video where a whole group of volunteers and myself were in the woods back here, and 6 cadaver dogs picked up and hit a certain area by these train tracks. And I'm going to show you the footage right here that I took of one of the cadaver dogs that they had.
Welcome back. That's Olivia Vitale from the Chronicles of Olivia. You've seen her on TikTok, YouTube, doing compelling work in the world of true crime. There, at the time of one of the searches for Sebastian, she also went to the house and interviewed Sebastian's mom and stepdad. Take a look.
In today's video, I interviewed the mother and stepfather of Sebastian Rogers.
And joining me right now, the TikToker behind Chronicles of Olivia, Olivia Vitale. Olivia, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Let me start here. You go to the home, to the house. When you walked in there and you met Sebastian's mom and stepdad, what were some of the first impressions that you had?
In terms of my first impressions, they were very nice. I went with my mother, along with a colleague of mine who works for Crime Scene Collective, which I'm an executive producer on. And they were welcoming, nice, and that's how they treated us.
Did you get to walk around the house at all? Did you see his room, anything? Or did they just want to sit and do the interview?
So they did want me to see Sebastian's room, but unfortunately I didn't have the chance to. I got so carried away with his mother. She was showing me pictures of Sebastian, and it was a bittersweet moment. However, my colleague Ethan did enter Sebastian's room with Chris, and what my colleague tells me is that the room was clean, it was ordinary, there was a private bathroom, a twin bed, and a window that faces the front yard.
I've looked at it. Seems like a really beautiful neighborhood, great house. It's where you would want to raise a family. You were taking part in some of the searches there. Can you describe the area, the areas where the searches were, the area around the house? How would you describe all of that?
Well, the area is fairly wooded. There is, it's the suburbs. There's neighborhoods, but there are areas we searched near one of the highways and just kind of around in the area. But there is trees and forest in that area. It's outside of Nashville. There's definitely more, as you can see, forest and yeah.
So what was your takeaway from that interview? This is a story, I know you cover a lot of stories, but this is one where everyone who's looking at this feels like there's nothing. There's not a clue. There's like no information. This is a 15-year-old who seemingly has vanished. Is there anything that sort of struck you as, well, wait a minute, that doesn't happen. Something happened here, and maybe something you're thinking about, something that maybe folks on the ground there were thinking about could have happened here? Because like from the outside looking in, it's like this young man just vanished.
You know, it's a mystery. I wish I had the answer to that question. I mean, I didn't see anything unusual in their home. It's actually very beautiful, very spacious, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, a lot of big houses. And they were very nice and cordial with me and my mother and my friend, Ethan. And I have no idea. It is a mystery. In terms of the conference yesterday, the chief deputy did say there is no evidence to suggest foul play.
I know. So, but something happened, right? We all know that something happened. Either he was lured outside, walked outside, or something else happened. What's the lingering question that you have tonight, Olivia, about Sebastian and what happened here, or what question needs to be answered?
In terms of a question that needs to be answered, I mean, it is a mystery. I wonder about security footage, or if possibly maybe there's somewhere out there a certain building or something that may have just that one bit of security footage, or that could show maybe something, or maybe someone out there knows something and they just need to see Sebastian's face, which is really important. I think the point of the interview is to bring awareness to Sebastian, and that's something that, another thing is we didn't want to focus on speculation or rumor-driven theories, just facts that could lead to hopefully find Sebastian.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, everyone is watching your interview, and everyone that watches it sees his face. Everyone that sees his face, now you spread it, and hopefully someone out there has that one lead that leads to an answer here. Olivia Vitale, great to have you on the program. Chronicles of Olivia, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Great work you're doing. Thanks so much.
Okay. So that's the end of that one. What'd you guys think? I think there was a couple of times that Vinnie was pretty shocked at some of Seth's answers. And I guess really nothing new out of this video. You guys think, did you catch anything new? I didn't. So where did you guys hear that the reward was raised to 200,000? Is that from Dog and Nick, or? I didn't see that today, so I do kind of force myself to take at least an hour or two off in the middle of the day to just relax, so that I'm not sleeping and breathing Sebastian. But yeah, I was kind of curious, and I'm kind of curious about what Seth is going to have to say tonight. Vinny always does a good job. The thing that stood out to me is Seth stays on Sebastian, not KPCP. That's right, he does. He brings it back around. He has from the very beginning. He has said it over and over, but he not only says it, but he does it. He brings the conversation back around to Sebastian, which is awesome. Whether people like Seth or not, he's been consistent from day one on finding his son. Oh, so Nick posted the reward, huh? I missed it. Well, I'm sure that they're going to talk about it tonight on Seth's video. I don't know if he's going to be. I think he's going to be live. I don't know. But that is going to be an interesting one. I think it's the first time that Seth has ever really used his channel for something like that, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, looking forward to going in, supporting him. And all we can do is hope and pray for Sebastian to be found, guys. But I hope you join us tonight. It's right here. That's where you can watch it. Yeah. Looking forward to it too. Yeah, me too. So hope you guys can join us in there tonight at 8 o'clock. It's going to be on Seth's channel and 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. So I have nothing else for us today. So we've got about another hour or so before Seth's going to be on. So thanks, guys, for stopping in. I appreciate you all so much. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Trying to grow a drama-free channel here. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it, guys. I really appreciate everybody sticking to the no drama. It's kind of refreshing, right? It's just enough time for dinner, K9. Oh, yeah. I'll probably take my puppy out before Seth's time. All right. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you so much. We will see you hopefully at 8 o'clock at Seth's channel. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.